presidential race showing the Vice President Harris gaining ground in some swing states and even eroding some of former President Trump's lead in Florida. Our next guest says if the election were held today, she would win. Joining us right now is pollster and political strategist Frank Luntz. That's a turn.
It's more than that.
That's a plot twist.
She's bringing out people who are not interested in voting for either Trump or Biden. So the entire electoral pool has changed. And if it continues in this direction, you have to start to consider Democrats winning the Senate and Democrats winning the House. The actual people who are participating, she's got intensity now. She's got an intensity advantage. She's got a demographic advantage. And I haven't seen anything like this happen in 30 days in my lifetime.
How big is that marginal extra voter that she's bringing in? I mean, how much does that change the pool?
1%, maybe 2%. That's it. But that's enough.
Right. Can I just ask you, though, about the veracity, frankly, of the polls right now? Because you go back and look, and there was an interesting report yesterday showing that if you look at where Donald Trump was in terms of what the polling showed, this is back in 2016,
yep,
undercounted. You go even in 2020, undercounted. And so, you start to think about the, margin of error situation where maybe she's up, 1 or 2%. But, is the Trump vote fully counted?
But that's why my process is not just to do the numbers. It's also to do the focus groups, to listen, to understand why people feel this way. And now my groups are broken up by young women saying, I'm not voting for him anymore. Make no mistake, there are 3 attributes, 3 components.
So you think it's a switch? It's not, because you just said, I'm not voting for them anymore. So you think they were voting for Donald Trump, and now they're voting for Harris?
The people who are undecided have all collapsed towards Harris. The people who are weak Trump have all collapsed towards undecided. It's this broad shift. I'm trying to do a focus group tonight with undecided voters under the age of 27 for a major news outlet. And I can't recruit young women to this because they don't exist as undecided voters. And you shift the demographics and you shift the entire outcome. There are issues, attributes, and the conditions of the country. The issues and conditions favor Donald Trump. He should be winning this election. But the attributes are so much in Harris's favor that he's not. That the very attributes that Trump offers, and the best example, you did the story on the UAW, why is Donald Trump saying publicly, I want to fire the same people that he's getting now, still getting, union members? It's ridiculous. It's as though he's lost control. And I know that there are billionaires who watch this show who are spending a lot of money on Donald Trump, and they don't understand why he's committing political suicide.
What can he do? Are these problems fixable? It sounds like the reason why women or undecided women are now deciding to vote for Kamala Harris, those are things that cannot be fixed.
Yes. So there are 3 issues. Number 1 is affordability. We should not call it inflation ever again. It's housing, health care, food, and fuel. And the people that Trump needs cannot afford it either every week or every month. Second, wasteful Washington spending, which you're not talking about anywhere. This was an issue over the last 8 years. Hard-working taxpayers hate it when they see their money being wasted. And third, it's not just immigration, it's safety and security. And I brought the headline here. I look at this. I walked into your office. I don't know if you can get this.
This is the New York Post. It says $5 billion, shocking amount New York City taxpayers have spent on migrants, and it's still going up.
And this people will look at this and go, damn it.
Right.
Or even worse, Trump should be winning. But the attributes, there are 3 things that people are looking for there. By the way, it's a cube. 3 different areas, 4 different components. Number 1, who's got results? Trump actually can show it. Trump has the advantage there. Number 2, a detailed plan of action, which he's about to release tomorrow. And number 3 is genuine accountability, which the public thinks no one does.
Let me ask you 2 questions. One is, she is about to release a plan, or at least we're going to start to see pieces of a plan that I think we'll hear about over the next couple of weeks once we get into the DNC convention and the like. Does a plan make her more attractive or less attractive? And the reason I ask is because right now there's very little to genuinely critique or attack if you were on the other side of it, right? Because you're not really sure. It's all this sort of amorphous thing. We're all guessing, does she tack to the center? Does she tack to the left? What are we about to see, right? at some point, if you actually have a detailed plan, no matter what it is, if you're on the other side of it, you're going to be able to say, well, let me nitpick this, let me nitpick this, let me nitpick this.
I heard this in 1994 when the GOP put forward the Contract with America, which reversed 40 years of Democratic control. If that plan of action, those details, are things that the public wants, they will ignore the criticism, and these soft voters will become intense voters. She's talking about the number one issue facing the country, and Donald Trump is talking about crowd size. What the hell, Andrew?
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm asking you a slightly different question, which is, does the policy piece become an advantage or a disadvantage? And the other element of that is, it is possible, if she does, for example, tack to the center, I imagine the critique will then be, well, where were you, are we supposed to believe what you're saying today, or are we supposed to believe you before? And then you get into this sort of John Kerry flip-floppy thing. I mean, there's going to be lots of ways that people will critique wherever she lands.
But if she's landing on making life more affordable for more people, that's the place to be. Her weakness right now are male union voters who traditionally vote Democrat over Republican by about 20 points. Trump is still outperforming her there. These paycheck-to-paycheck voters that I speak of, don't call them blue-collar. They don't relate to that. And don't call them working class, because they actually resent it. They are challenged every week, every month to make ends meet. They want someone to make life more affordable to them. Even if she's attacked, then she's being attacked for fighting to make things more affordable.
Frank, we got to run, but the final question, what states to you are in play? I mean, what are the true swing states at this point?
It's the same ones that we know of: Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan.
Yeah, but then you're saying maybe Florida something happens here. No?
No. All Trump needs to do is to win one of those states. He's now talking about the election being stolen. This is a line from Governor Chris Sununu. You can't steal what you've given away. He is actually giving away this election, and we will look back on today, and I will post this and say, you've been warned.
What do your Republican friends say when you say this?
They tell me yell louder. They tell me this, I can't stand up because I'll fall over. They tell me to stand up, scream on shows like this, wake the hell up to the president, former president, because this could be a sweep in November if he doesn't.